Welcome to Traffic and You with the Guyana Police Force. I'm your host, Samantha Singh, and with me is the Traffic Chief, Mr. Mahendra Singh. It's a pleasure to have him on our feature today, sir. Welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing quite fine.
All right. Now, we all have a role to play on the road, whether we're a pedestrian or we are a motor vehicle driver. Today, we are going to enlighten you or to remind you some of the rules on the road and to give you a little idea as well what's been happening. Sir, lately we've been having a lot of accidents on the road. In your report that comes to you, what would you say are some of the causes?
Accident occurrence generally, some of the major contributing factors are speeding, driving under the influence, inattentiveness, pedestrians crossing the path of motor vehicles, moving motor vehicles, that is. Those are the dominant ones that presently are prevailing within our country. Some of these accidents can be prevented had it been for better attention that you paid to what you were doing at the time or being more aware of your surroundings. Much of it can actually be not occurring if you actually complied with the rules of the road and take more pride in how you conduct yourself as a chauffeur and or another road user. In most cases, why I emphasize on the chauffeur's responsibility in accident prevention or accident occurrence rather, is that they play a greater role when you are in four wheels or you are on another form of transportation to look out for the vulnerable aspect of road usage, that is the pedestrians or persons on pedal cycles or motorcycles. So present day what's prevailing is that the contributing factors, like I said to you, speeding, driving under the influence, inattentiveness, and or pedestrians crossing the path of moving motor vehicles.
We've been seeing a lot of persons as well doing undertaking. Is that against the law?
Yeah, it is against the law, overtaking inappropriately. You find the haste in which people want to operate, and I wouldn't say people, let us be very straight. The population that drives, those in four wheels and at the wheel, they are responsible for the commandeering of that vehicle. They take haste in most things that they do, and they value expediency over safety in getting from point A to point B. And their actions or inability to comprehend what is required of them now, that contributes to what we do not wish to see more of. That is accidents and or loss of life or irreparable damages.
What we've been seeing on the road as well too, apart from drivers driving reckless, we have drivers who are safe as well, on the road. But we also have pedestrians. Sometimes they walk across the road without even looking to see if a vehicle is coming. And when a vehicle, hung their horn on them, they just give a wave. What would you say to them on that?
Let me tell you, throwing caution to the wind is at your own peril. You move across Regent Street and look carefully. What you're telling me is the harsh reality. I am a driver and I would be driving by myself with my own personal vehicle. And the observation is that pedestrians would walk across the road as if you did not exist and they are the only ones utilizing the roadway. And when they do so, to whose expense it is? You naturally have to face the courts being charged for one offense or the other. And they might not even be around to tell the tale of what they did. Without a CCTV camera and or your dash cam, you have nothing to support you except what you are claiming. Too bad. On too many occasions that occur. My advice, as a road user, each of us have a role to play. And the responsibility goes both ways, civilian population and police. They have to realign our thought process. They have to realign our behavioral practices to ensure that we conduct ourselves within public space effectively, efficiently, with safety and security to ourselves and others at each and every time or each and every occasion we are on that roadway.
What we want to touch on as well too is pedestrian. You're walking on the road in the night, especially, and you're wearing black clothes. Now let's say we have a pitch dark night. Drivers can't see you unless they're close. What would you say to them? And also to persons who are riding bicycle as well in the night that doesn't have reflectors, because many of times you're seeing that as well.
Like I said, responsibility goes all the way. Now, if you're going to take the opportunity to walk by night, and this country doesn't have the type of crime and or threat level that demands that you do not utilize the roadway either on foot or in a vehicle at any particular time of the 24-hour clock. My advice is by night and when the place is excessively dark or poorly lit, use clothing that is not only reflective but clothing that one can see and or recognize from a distance. Use the roadway walking in the corner and walking in the direction where you're observable to traffic that is oncoming, not behind of you. The other thing with bicycles or motorcycles, ensure there are reflectors, ensure there's a light, ensure that you're riding in such a way you're not posing yourself to a danger to you, an imminent threat or danger to your own self, because your existence depends on what you do. So you have to take the responsibility your way. Have the requisite materials on the cycle, so that when you're using it, you recognize your ability to be visible to the other part of the public. It is there, no question about it.
Another thing we've been seeing as well too is motor vehicles end up in an accident, and instead of calling the police or going to the police station to report it, they're deciding that we're going to take it into our own hands by just collecting the driver's information. And then when you find the drivers or the other driver who caused the accident say that, hey, I'm going to look it after in a few days, and then that person keep calling, and then nothing happens, and then they take it to social media.
You experience an accident or were involved in a motor vehicle accident on the roadway, report it to the police. Take the necessary action of reporting it to the police, have the police intervention where they take the initial action and markings are had, statements are taken, occurrences are made, production generally. Let the police investigate. If at some point in time you decide that there will be a settlement to occasion between both parties, let it be done as per prescribed procedure. Not to say that when you take your action into your own hands and then you cannot get the way forward or decipher the sort of satisfaction you are intended to because of the damages incurred, you will want to blame someone. Report the matter to the police, have the police take the action, and have no excuses to make for any form of inability or inaction thereafter.
And recently you did an interview with a media outlet, and I think they carried a story where speeding ticket will now be the cost of $35,000. Can you emphasize a little on that?
All right, first thing, I did no such interview. It's a rare occasion for me to do an interview with any media outlet. Not to say that I despise the media, let it be clear. I did a presentation in Regional Police Division 6, attended by 90% police, and the other persons were from the Road Safety Council, and one person from the media in Regional Division 6. And in my presentation, I made mention that stiffer penalties might result in a realignment of the behavior of chauffeurs and our road users, and it might have a deterrent effect. I did mention, and the presentation was left with them to show that a proposal for a likely raise which is proposed is submitted. It is beyond my authority to have such approved and put into place for it to be enforceable. So it goes without question that I would do such an interview in my sane mind, and as traffic officers as I am designated, to want to say such a thing to the public. If they were to say to me that, did you at any point say something, I asked the question that if currently what prevails in terms of a fine for a speeding ticket and or failing to wear a safety helmet or a seat belt, if it goes on, shouldn't it be $25,000? That has nothing to say that Singh or the traffic officer approved and took it upon himself to tell people things which are wholly untrue and have no bearing right now. So if you were to quote me now, I did not, I would not. Whatever it is that is approved and it passes down to us from policymakers, we would effectuate and ensure it has the desired impact to realize less accident, less death, and a safer roadway for even my own self.
Anything else you care to share with our viewers before we go, sir? And can you remind our viewers the 5 C's on the road? Because many of times you're finding persons are not adhering to the 5 C, not even 1 C, much less 5.
If I were to conduct Traffic 101 right now, it would be a disservice to me. The 5 C's are widely known. 90% of the population who are either a driver or a rider, and you have to obtain a license to be one of them. So let's be very circumspect, they know the C's. Care and consideration are the two I'll hinge on or emphasize on. We have to exercise due care. You have to be very cautious and be very considerate of others who are using the road right now. And when you're on the road, take care that you have to return safely in one piece, alive and well, as much as others who your own actions can impact. So I will use the opportunity and thank you up front to tell everyone that it is necessary at this time. We recognize that the statistics are not necessarily pointing to a situation where all is well and dandy. We are reporting at least 2 more fatal accidents and 2 additional deaths present day compared to last year. That's not a good start to the year 2024. No one could be proud of the stats when you report them as a traffic officer. And to urge the member of the public to always look forward to a better tomorrow, knowing that your contribution is very important to the realization of same. So chauffeurs, persons on motorcycles, pedal cycles, the person on foot, pay keen attention to your surroundings. Every time you step out, know that you want to return back home safely and securely. And do so with care and caution to yourself and others.
Sir, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time out from your busy schedule to have this chit chat with us. You're doing a fabulous job, and we at Emerald wish you the very best.
We thank you very much for reaching out to us, affording us the opportunity. We're never too busy to meet with anyone who gives us this opportunity. So thanks, big thanks to you.
Most welcome. Well, viewers, there you heard it from the Traffic Chief Mahendra Singh, giving you updates on what's happening and how you should, be safe on the road. The 5 C's on the road are caution, care, consideration, common sense, and courtesy. Let's follow that. Let's be safe until our next traffic featured. Samantha Singh, goodbye.